So today's story is on power of letting go. Once, a young man named Rio went to a wise monk, distressed and frustrated about his relationships. "Master," he said, "people keep leaving my life. Friends, relationships, even business partners, one after another. I feel abandoned. Why can't they stay? What am I doing wrong?" The monk chuckled and gestured for Rio to sit. "Ah, attachment can be quite tricky, can't it?" said the monk. "Tell me, Rio, have you ever tried to hold on to a handful of sand?" Rio, looking puzzled, nodded. "Yes, of course." "And what happens when you try to hold it tightly in your fist?" "Well," Rio said, "it slips right through my fingers, no matter how hard I try to hold it." The monk laughed. "Exactly," he said, smiling. "People are like sand, Rio. If you hold too tightly, they'll slip right through. But if you let them be, they'll stay in your open palm for as long as they wish. The tighter you grip, the quicker they want to escape." Rio looked thoughtfully at his own hands, as if seeing them for the first time. Still unsure, he asked, "But what if someone is very important to me? How can I just let them go?" The monk pondered for a moment, then pointed to a cat lounging lazily in the sun nearby. "Do you see that cat?" he asked. "Yes, master." "Try to pick it up," the monk said with a mischievous grin. Rio approached the cat carefully, extending his hands to lift it. But as soon as he got close, the cat darted away. Determined, he tried again, crouching down and calling to it gently, but each time he got near, the cat sprang out of reach. After a few minutes of futile attempts, he returned to the monk, red-faced and out of breath. The monk chuckled and shook his head. "The more you chase, the farther it runs," he said. "But if you just sit down and wait, you may find that the cat will come to you when it's ready. And when it comes to you of its own will, it might even curl up on your lap, content and trusting." A flicker of understanding lit up in Rio's eyes. "So, you're saying people will come and go as they please, like the cat?" The monk nodded. "Exactly. People are not possessions, Rio. Each person who comes into your life is like a passenger on a train. Some ride with you for the whole journey, others for just a few stops. It's natural for some to leave when their stop comes. Imagine trying to keep every passenger on board forever. It would be exhausting and, honestly, quite crowded," the monk added with a grin. Rio chuckled at the image of a train full of people refusing to disembark, standing around awkwardly as new passengers tried to board. The monk continued, "When someone wishes to leave, wish them well. When we let people go with a warm farewell, we make space for others to come aboard. Who knows? Some of these new passengers may end up being closer and more meaningful to us than the ones who left." "But master," Rio asked, still a bit uncertain, "won't I feel empty if too many people leave? What if I'm left with no one at all?" The monk smiled gently and said, "Rio, life is about learning to be content with yourself first. The emptiness you fear, it's not an absence of others. It's an absence of self-acceptance. The people who leave are simply making space for you to get to know yourself better. Once you learn to enjoy your own company, you'll find that those who truly value you will return or stay." The monk then added with a chuckle, "And remember, some passengers might leave and hop back on the train at a later stop. Life is full of surprises." Rio laughed, imagining old friends suddenly appearing back on his train with a cheerful, "Surprise! I'm back!" Finally feeling a sense of relief, he bowed to the monk. "Thank you, master. I understand now. I will welcome whoever comes and let them go when they wish." The monk placed a reassuring hand on Rio's shoulder. "That's the spirit, Rio. Don't grip life so tightly. Like sand, like the cat, like passengers on a train, when you let go, you're free to fully experience each connection as it is, without fear of loss. And remember, you're just one stop in their journey too. Make it a memorable one." And with that, the monk sent Rio off, smiling as he watched the young man walk away, lighter and ready to embrace each new face with open hands and an open heart. As Rio walked away, a quiet peace settled over him, a lightness he hadn't felt in years. He realized that people leaving didn't mean he'd lost something. It meant he was simply making room for new connections, new experiences, and even a deeper understanding of himself. In life, we often grasp onto relationships and people, fearing that letting them go will leave us empty. But as the monk taught Rio, this grasping only leads to frustration, like sand slipping through our fingers. True freedom and true peace come from releasing the need to control who stays and who goes, from learning to cherish each person as a unique chapter in our lives. Rio understood now. Some people come to teach us, some to walk alongside us, and others to show us what we don't need. Each one plays their part, and then, just as they arrived, they may one day move on. And that's perfectly okay. The lesson is simple but profound. Cherish the people who come into your life, but don't hold them so tightly that you lose your sense of self. Let them go when it's time, and embrace the beautiful, unpredictable flow of life. Because in the end, life isn't about holding on to every passenger who boards our train. It's about enjoying the journey, embracing each connection, and when the time comes, letting go with a grateful heart. Hope you understand the story. So, if you love, then do like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos.